up, Met fans? Welcome back. Talking Mets and Rob. How's everybody doing? Before I get started talking about the latest breaking news about Jacob Degrom, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on this like button. If you enjoy my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, hit on that subscribe button, everybody. All right, guys, so what is the breaking news regarding our ace, our superstar, our Cy Young Award pitching Jacob Degrom? Well, Sandy just came on not too long ago stating that Jacob Degrom has a partially torn UCL ligament in his right elbow. That is news that the New York Mets fan did not want to hear. And what pisses me off even more is that for 2 months now, they claim there is no structural damage. They claimed it was all inflammation in the elbow. Yet, now there's a partially torn UCL in his elbow? Makes no sense. So, what I told you about 2 weeks ago about the last MRI he had, that there was something else going on with the elbow that they weren't telling us about. What was it? Well, we just found out. A partially torn UCL in his elbow. According to Sandy Alderson, the rest that Jacob Degrom has had has actually recovered the ligament that was partially torn, and it recovered and it regenerated, I guess, the ligament in his elbow, which we've seen Seth Lugo go through. But the scary part is Seth Lugo doesn't throw 100 and 101 miles an hour. Seth Lugo doesn't have the best stuff in baseball like Jacob Degrom. So the problem is here, can Jacob Degrom come back now? And if the Mets make a run, can he come back and beat a Jacob Degrom that we well know? That's the biggest question right now. So, we've seen Seth Lugo go through the partially torn UCL a couple of years ago, and he's been dealing with it still. But can Jacob Degrom go out there every fifth day and pitch with this partially torn ligament? Does Jacob Degrom say, I'm not going to risk it, I'd rather get the surgery? It is up to Jacob Degrom. But it doesn't seem like Jacob Degrom will probably go that route, because he did see Seth Lugo successfully get through the partially torn UCL and pitch well. But Lugo is a reliever. Sometimes when Lugo pitches 2 games in a row, you won't see him for 2-3 days. That's something that we can't have Jacob Degrom do. Even though he'll pitch every 5th day, there can be a time when the ligament acts up and Jacob Degrom might miss a start. So now we're going to have to worry about that this year, through his rehab, through spring training, throughout next year. Will he tear this ligament? There's a big possibility he might, because he throws harder than everybody else in baseball. He has the best stuff in baseball. Are you willing? This is why I don't understand why they just didn't come out and say that he has a partially torn UCL and come up with other crap about inflammation here, inflammation there. Oh, he has soreness here, a little bit of tightness. We're not stupid. Clearly, there was something going on. Everybody believed, oh, it's inflammation, it's inflammation. I told you 2 weeks ago when I did a video about the last MRI with Jacob Degrom. There's something else going on, and I was right. That's the biggest issue that we're having right now. Can Jacob Degrom pitch with this UCL, partially torn UCL? It is a big-time news that we just found out from Sandy Alderson. Not the news that we wanted to hear, but let's be honest. We all knew there was something else going on besides inflammation. And then only, yesterday, Jacob Degrom was running away from reporters smiling. So, I just don't understand why it's the cloak and dagger about his injury. Just say it. You know, we'd rather hear the truth than to get the runaround. And that's the biggest problem that I'm having, is that there's no way no pitcher is going to miss 2 months for just inflammation. There's anti-inflammatory pills, all types of medicine for that if he has inflammation. There's all types of cortisone shots that can be used for inflammation if they get the direct spot to put the cortisone shot. There's a lot of things that they can take care of inflammation in about 3 weeks or so. We've seen it all the time. So clearly there was something else going on 2 months ago. Now, maybe doctors did say that with enough rest, the ligament can repair itself. Okay, fine. I'm not a doctor, but at the end of the day, the ligament is not 100%, and that's a huge problem for a guy who throws over 100 miles an hour on almost every pitch. Not only has the most dominating fastball in baseball, but he has the most dominating slider in baseball, the tightest slider, the most break, and the hardest throwing slider in the league. And that's the other issue. Can he throw his curveball? Can he throw his slider? He might be able to throw his changeup. Is he going to be a two-pitch pitcher now, knowing that he might not feel comfortable throwing that slider, that tight, hard slider? Now he's going to be a fastball changeup, which will probably still be the best pitcher in baseball because it is Jacob Degrom. But when batters know 100 miles an hour is coming and a changeup only, now they don't have to worry about his slider. That's something that they don't have to worry about now. So there's a lot of moving parts here. Latest news, Sandy Olson said Jacob Degrom has a partially torn UCL. Not surprising. I'm not shocked because nobody in their right mind will be out for 2 months for just inflammation. So clearly they were nursing this UCL, and that's why he hasn't even thrown at all until recently. So again, Jacob Degrom, partially torn UCL. Bad news for Met fans. Bad news for the Mets organization. In my opinion, I will not even ramp him up this year. I let him rest throughout the whole offseason. I don't even care if the Mets make a run, somehow make the playoffs. I don't want him pitching. If somehow this ligament can get repaired with rest, I don't want to see him until February in spring training. That's my thoughts on that. I really do think that the Mets really dropped the ball on this, and they should have been truthful about this injury. Don't mess around with the best pitcher in baseball. Do not do that. Now, they didn't mess around, physically with him because they didn't make him pitch. But to come out with all types of other injuries, and the big news was inflammation, is an absolute joke. Because they kept on saying inflammation, and they act like that we were stupid. And we're not. We all knew something else was going on. And if you believe the nonsense about the inflammation, then you're one of the Will Pond apologists. And you're that type of fan. I'm not, and I know a lot of people are not also, but there is some people that say, oh, I even had it in the comments in my last video. Oh, you just don't come back from inflammation. Look, it's common sense with inflammation, right? Anti-inflammatories, rest, little bit of therapy, possible cortisone shot in that area. That's what inflammation. It shouldn't take more than 3 weeks, at the most a month, to come back from inflammation. With ramping himself back up. So when he wasn't coming back at all, and they kept on saying no structural damage, they were lying. It was that simple. Nobody in their right mind, no pitcher in their right mind, will actually miss 2 months of action for inflammation. It didn't make sense. And if you believe the nonsense that they were pouring you, you're one of the sheep that they love as Met fans. That is the latest news on Jacob Degrom. Once again, Sandy Olson just had an interview stating that Jacob Degrom has a partially torn UCL in his right elbow. According to Sandy Olson, it has healed up enough and repaired itself with the rest that he had where he can start throwing again. Now, what does that mean? Who knows? I guess we'll find out in the coming days or weeks. But in my opinion, Jacob Degrom should just shut it down, and we'll see him in February in 2022. Met fans, I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit on that like button. If you're enjoying my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos, and when I go live, hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Shut him down or let him pitch. Are you worried that this UCL is going to be more of a problem going forward? Should he have Tommy John surgery now, or should he just rest it up and be a Seth Lugo, what Seth Lugo was over the last couple of years? Thank you for watching, Met fans, and as always, let's go Mets.